Hello everyone and welcome back. We're here for the back half of round number 2 of the 2023 Samui Swine Classic 10 presented by Prodigy. Got a great lead card. You've seen them play 11 holes thus far. Now they'll play those same 11 holes again through this loop to make up their 22-hole round. All holes are just played consecutively. As soon as you're done with 11, you go back to 1, and that's exactly what you're seeing here. The triple Mando on hole number 1, coming in at just 44 meters. And this is the definition of a must-get birdie. They really don't get any easier than this hole, in my opinion. You may have some nerves. There's a little bit of chatter usually off to the left-hand side where people are hanging out at the patio area. And that looks like a little too much juice there for Philo. He'll have a comeback putt from there. Here's Scott, who's gone, well, it should be now 4 for 4 with lunging jump putt tosses that should result in a birdie for him. Third on the card, Peter Christoffersen. Talked about him earlier. He's an actor out of Denmark and was just renewed for season 2 of Raised by Wolves, which is on HBO Max, and I'm sure quite a few of you have watched it. I don't have HBO Max. I don't roll like that. On a budget here. And fourth, and rounding out the card, is Evan Boucher. So Philo just 6, maybe 7 paces, as he'd say. And yeah, that one stings a little. Anytime you miss hole 1, you're frustrated with yourself. Evan, who opened up his first round with a 12 under par, which matched the effort of Philo's. You see him with a little bit of a slow front 9. He only shot one under on the front 11. I'll get all these numbers and words right. Now he's 2 under for the round. Philo already 7 under. And that's where he'll remain. Got, of course, with the easy tap in. And certainly a great battle. Scott's going to pull within 2 now of Philo, which is exactly where he started the round. Big thanks to our events presenting sponsor in Prodigy Disc. And we've seen this play by Scott over and over again, going with the overhand. He's going to do that a number of times. More often than not, they've been successful. And due to a strained or sprained ankle in round number 1 on the previous day, Peter has been going with all standstill throws off the tee and not doing any jump putts, which he says he regularly does. Philo taking a moment to regroup. He's been crowned champion here 3 times in the past. And with that, he's going to actually, I think, stand down for the players on hole number 3. Asking to hit a house, because that's leaking toward the right side. It's going to stop and check up just fine, but there is an OB line on that right side, so it is definitely possible to go OB to the right. Also, in a crazy, maybe approach shot, you could actually go OB long into the road, but I've never seen a drive get all the way to the road before. Scott thinks every disc has a chance, and to his credit, he's pretty good. Oh, and it tickles. Just tickles a single chain. Not quite enough, though, for Philo. So Peter looking like he'll have to settle for a par. Here's off to the left-hand side. That's where we find Evan. Jumper? No big deal. Maybe Evan can start to heat things up. Big shout out to Sven and the whole crew that has typically hung out in those houses just off in the distance there. Those were built a few years ago, and back in 2020, they were completely overrun by, I believe, both Swedish and Finnish disc golfers. Now they were all booked, but Sven used some of that incredible charm he has, and I think sweet-talked his way into getting one of the remaining houses or bungalows over there. And truly, just an epic place to be to watch disc golf. You can watch the action on probably a distance from 1, you can see 2, you can see 3. All part of the Samui experience. Here we are, hole number 3, otherwise known as 14. This is just Sky God in Evan's hands. He throws it quite a bit. Again, speaking, I guess, of that Samui experience, not too many tournaments in the world are you standing down for chickens, dogs, geese, sometimes a snake or two, a motorbike, and yet a very, very chill vibe in every sense. That pushes to the back side of the island, but it's going to be safe. Philo also pushes now to the left side of the island, but he should still have a look. I spoke of essentially zero breeze in the front 11 holes, and now you see just the lightest of breeze possibly coming through, but it's still very stagnant. Philo catches a break. That one was high. Oh yeah, Scott, just stand right in front of me, no big deal. For a minute, I thought he was joking. I thought he was like, oh, I'll be funny and stand in front of me. I think he was just forgot that I was there. You know, I'm so small and all. I guess we'll give him the birdie. And here the goose representing its territory, protecting it. And not too bad. We get 3 birdies and a par here on hole number 14. They'll make the walk over to 15. Did you creeping on me? Step away. Step away. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, I gotta go. Leave me alone. We head over to hole number 15, the most challenging one on the track, 302 feet. Oh, a little redirect. A ton of forward progress. That's going to get to pin high, but still have a mound and a little bit of a hill to deal with. Quite the mac off that tree. Oh, and Philo gets a late kick. That's going to bring it center with the basket. That's going to work out just fine and give him a look for birdie. It's calling for it to get on edge, and it gets caught up instead. I had somehow missed Peter's drive. In fact, I know exactly what I did. I somehow double punched, as they call it. So put a bogey on the scorecard on the most difficult hole for me. It was his putt for birdie. And officially, I think I can chalk that up as a single missed throw that I had this weekend. Oh, that hurts. He did everything he could. Stokely taking it in stride. Sometimes they just don't catch right. A little bit gentle. Nice toss in there for Philo to pick up the birdie. We move over to 16. I could just snack, though.
I'm Garrett Girthy. People know me as Double G. I've been making Double G craft jerky since I was 16 years old.
I'm always a snacker, so about halfway through, I always find myself reaching for that bag of Double G jerky.
My favorite has got to be the garlic lover's dream. You just can't go wrong with garlic and beef jerky.
That middle of the round, you get into that slump. I'm going to reach for that Double G craft jerky to help me finish strong.
So most of you can't throw like Double G, but if you get his craft jerky, you can certainly eat like him. Go out and get some Double G craft jerky.
You can find Double G craft jerky at doublegjerky.com.
You certainly can. You can also find it at shop.thediscgolfguy.com. Of course, I'm fully restocked. We were completely out of it. So if you head over to my site, shop.thediscgolfguy.com, pick up some jerky along with a couple new Frisbees. It all goes to supporting coverage along with my Patreon subscription. And now we're feeling rain. It was exactly at this point during yesterday's round that the rain picked up and got significant. So 24 hours later, same spot, same hole even, and we're feeling the rain, enough to get an umbrella out. Pops up, gets a late kick. Still going to leave him in long range looking for a birdie. And almost matching the putter park job from the earlier go through. Great shot by Evan. He's going to be on the dance floor looking to get another birdie here. Philo from way back in Bangkok. In about 38 holes of play, that's the longest putt we've seen Philo connect from. Normally, he doesn't even have that much distance to the pin, but definitely his longest putt. Oh, and Peter, high right chain, can't get it to drop. Scott making this one look easy. I believe he was throwing that drive with a Macbeth Luna, if I recall looking at it during his park job in the front 11. Shop.thediscgolfguy.com. We head over to 17. A little flick if you got it. Flick it if you got it? Is that a phrase? I don't think so.
I did it.
And Scott, for the first time in 4 tries, throws a good shot here on hole 17. Evan making it look too easy. And does it get any round play? That's going to work out just fine for Peter. Peter's only been playing 2 years, hailing out of Denmark. We also recently saw the we recently saw news of KJ Nybo with a new sponsor, thinking as the most decorated Danish player of all time in KJ Nybo. The rain gear is officially out as we're here on 17. Philo looks like he's about to go. He's about to go track down ET. All those hazmat suits or whatever they had. All right, I'm dating myself a little bit here. Big thanks to our friends at the Distinguished Doodle. If you're looking to get any shampoos or conditioners, organic, all the right ingredients, make sure you check them out at thedistinguisheddoodle.com. Tell them the Disc Golf Guy sent you. Good double kick there for Philo. And Scott makes the correction during the earlier go through. Scott hit off the left side tree and then stayed out of bounds. We also saw Evan go OB deep as well, and this time it checks up just short of the out of bounds. So he's going to have a look for birdie. I love this play, just making sure that it's on edge the whole way, flat. Doesn't really put any turnover on it whatsoever, so that when it goes out there, no matter how it hits, it's either going to skip basically forward or off to the right. So I really like that play. Sounds like a little traffic control here, deciding who's going to go next. Stokely steps up and going to pick up the birdie. Similar distance for Philo. Dropping it in with no problem. It's going to push Philo to 12 under for the round. Scott sitting at 11 for the round. And we're going to have to definitely keep our eyes on the likes of Tommy Lettinen. I talked about him during round number 1. The Finnish player who's never lost an event in Thailand. He played this event last year, he played the Heiser Brownie last year, and then he played the Heiser Brownie again this year, which is on the south side of Thailand, or on the south side of Samui, and he's won all 3 of the events that he's played here in Thailand. He's trying to make it a 4th and defend his title here this year. Looks like a carbon copy from 11 holes earlier. Nice work by Philo. Not quite as close as he was earlier, but pretty much the same shot. And Scott, oh no. Yeah, he's wondering how in the world he did that. Or maybe if that's the right play. We've yet to see him have a lot of great success here. Evan somehow gets through everything. Now here's a backhand standstill by Peter. And that appears to work just fine. Scott making sure I'm ready because he says he's going to put this in. To save par. All we can do is try. That's all we can do, Scott. Philo keeps the train rolling and looking for a little separation between him and Stokely. Scott's looking at a bogey. Philo in for birdies. 13 under for the round. 3 holes left to play. And with each passing moment, I was watching Peter during the round, it felt like I was almost in pain, just watching him walk around and hobble around the way he had to due to that sprained ankle. Looked incredibly painful. Stokely walks away, talking about if he birdies out. Every hole on this course gettable. Hole 4 certainly the bonus, but every hole on this course gettable for sure. You have to just beat. You have to beat those guardian trees, and I know we see a couple different routes. Some players go right up the middle. Some play the low shot that just skips and then will basically flare to the pin. You see this one going much higher, kind of filtering through. I like the righty, just kind of medium height, because you want to stay away from any leaves that are up there. I like this height, and it's just a matter of making sure you miss one of the guardian trees. So the Firebird does the job there for Evan. And essentially at this point, Scott has played to 20 under, and he's doing it with 3 discs. It's his putter, his Berg, and his Felon. That's it. Every hole. Philo looking to tack on a little more mileage for the long range distance, but needed about another 2 inches. So great adjustment from Scott. We saw him bogey that in the very first go through. And since then, I think has birdied it the other 3 times. So we're pushing through our second round. You guys have now seen the course almost 4 times. My question to you guys that you have to put in the comments is, what is your favorite hole out here and why? Do you love the challenge of hole 4 or maybe hole 5, which are both about 300 feet? Do you like how hole 1 starts out, the triple Mando, the Muscat birdie, the island green on 3? A couple of these little flick turnovers or lazy hyzers that you find on these last few holes. Whatever it is, put it in the comments. That makes you eligible. We've got some jerky to give away. We've got some other things from my store. Let's see if Evan can ring up another one. He was parked earlier and essentially parked again.
That had a chance.
It did have a chance. I mean, this shot looks so similar to a couple of the other holes out here. So if you have that shot dialed in, there's at least 3 or 4 birdies that should just show up on your scorecard for you. Well, you play that hole twice, that means there's 6 to 8 birdies that should show up on your scorecard. Off the top, and I'll make a plug for him, and I'm gonna have to go check it out. Raised by Wolves, HBO Max. I am not paid for that advertisement at all, but pretty cool to say we have an actor of his caliber, and I took a look at his IMDb page. Of course, he's been acting for quite some time, has a very lengthy resume, but as of right now, in the present tense here of 2023, early 2023, the announcement of the Raised by Wolves 2 coming back, and of course we're going to see Peter. We're going to see him make another attempt here. The character name that he plays is Cleaver, as in like a meat cleaver. I don't understand the significance, but I'm going to go check out the series myself. I think the first season was 6 episodes, and I think I saw that the next season here is going to be 8. Sweet shot by Evan. Big shout out to Luke and Nigel. Nigel's entire family, including his wife Sam, who really takes care of everything, runs the show here when it comes to all of the hospitality. Nigel's going to be getting up in a few hours after this round is over so that he can get the grill going, because of course there's going to be a pig roast with an unbelievable spread that will be provided to all players, all on Sunday following the tournament. Also added in the last year, there is an 11-hole skins match that will take place after round number 3. So on Sunday afternoon, they will pull 4 names at random out of the tournament, and they will go out and play a skins match on every single hole as well. So continuing to get things going here and make this quite an affair. They also have Glow taking place on Saturday night. You come to Samui for every bit of the culture and the experience, but also a lot of good times here on the course. Scott trying to run down another one. I told him, he said I shouldn't have run it down. I said, well, that's why I make fun of people that do that, because you look silly when you miss. Sven in the background definitely wanted that to drop. So close. And Peter's going to finish on a little bit of a rough note here, but what a gracious and kind gentleman. It was a pleasure to meet him. I was tickled that he followed me on Instagram already, but then asked if I would follow him, and I'm so thankful to have met him. Evan is going to make a return on the lead card. Spoiler, he'll be back for round number 3. Scott, of course, right there in contention. He's going to be a few behind Philo, but we're closing out. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things that I always beg of you. Tell me what your favorite hole is out here and why. And that's what you'll see for our lead card tomorrow. Philo, Tommy, Scott, and Evan. I love you all. That's the disc golf guy from Samui. We'll see you for the final round, round number 3 tomorrow.